And this will be my last video probably of today, but I want to talk about the nature of social media as a leader. So, with what has been going on in our world for the past year, um, I've seen a lot of people get into Facebook discussions and general social media discussions with their friends and family about certain ideas. This is not useful. The reason is not because I don't believe with every fiber of my being that you should be putting things out there. I do. Facebook is not a good platform. Now, I believe this is proven. It's not a good platform for the conversion of people to ideas. It's not. What Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are good for is creating social pressure. So, for example, when I'm putting something out there that supports my particular beliefs, I'm rallying the troops. I'm not seeking to convert. I don't care how soft pedaling you can be as a Christian. Facebook's not going to convert anybody. And if you're only soft pedaling as a Christian on social media, then you, my friend, are missing the point by light years. Think of social media as a Sunday evening service. For those of you who don't know a lot about Pentecostalism, on Sunday evening services is typically when pastors and teachers address the congregation, address the saints. This is kind of the new orthodoxy in Pentecostalism. So Sunday morning, you soft pedal Christianity to people. You know, you kind of, I hate to say mealy mouth. I'm not. I don't mean that critical. I mean it's you. Somebody will come up with a better word that's less offensive. I tend to just use words that pop off the top of my head, and they're usually more offensive because they mean what I'm trying to say. And people are usually like, "You could have said that nicer," and I'm like, "Can you think of a way?" And I'll try to do that next time because I want my message to hit. But yeah, so typically on a Sunday morning, if you go to Pentecostal church, it's like, everybody's real kind of reserved, and you clap a little bit, and then the preacher gets up and preaches something, just super generic, about love and coming to Jesus, and then everybody comes up to the front and stands around and holds their hands like this and yes, and then goes home, and then Sunday night shows up, and before you walk in the door, you hear the organ screaming, right? And the drums start going, and then Pentecostals show you, why we have a lot of the slanderous nicknames we do, and that's Sunday night. So social media is more of a Sunday night experience. It's the best way to use it anyway, because you're not going to convert anybody on social media, right? So what you can do is you can rally the troops. And what you're going to find out is that when you rally the troops, just like you do on Sunday nights, that's when the majority of the stuff happens. When you say, hey, this is where we stand and this is where we're going and there's no compromising here, all of a sudden people are attracted to that. Humans are naturally attracted to strength. And I will never, ever understand why Christianity as a whole has decided to adopt the personification of an effeminate man. All right, I don't get that. I mean, and what I mean by that, let me try to break this down. Is Christianity, by and large, men are the pastors, right? That's typical. But we soft pedal effeminacy, like where men are super like soft and we assume that softness is Christ-likeness, which is a whole other conversation on the destruction of Christianity. Because if that's the Christianity you're peddling, I don't want any part of it. And I'm speaking from a man here, not a Christian. Like I don't want the new song, the Jesus is my boyfriend songs. Those make me terribly uncomfortable. Not interested in them at all. Can those? But why on earth we think that we have started to equate we've started to equate love and affirmation as the same thing. Like, if you don't affirm me, then you don't love me. And that's stupid. I mean, that's not even that's stupid. You cannot get any more dumb than that, because that's like telling your children, hey, I want to play with this shotgun fully loaded. Oh, yes, you can, because I love you. No, you can't. Give me that gun. What are you thinking, child? Right? That's what we're missing in the world as a whole, and that's what we're missing at Christianity. And I believe the reason we're missing it in the world is first and foremost because we're missing it in Christianity. There's a way to rebuke people in love. Right? There's a way to do that. You don't have to be angry, right? You don't have to. A lot of times when preachers preach on sin, they do that in an angry, because they're very uncomfortable. Trust me, I know. And it's because we've all sinned. Imagine your job having to get up before a whole bunch of people and tell them to stop doing things that you struggle with, that you do. All right, that's a horrible job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't envy that at all. But it's what it is. And so, but there is a way to rebuke people in love. And so, what we need to learn in leadership is that affirmation and love are not the same thing, and that good leaders know how to do both affirmation and love, but also know when to love people and give them a good whooping. You know what I mean? We need that as a country. So when you're viewing your social media account, there are ways to stand up socially, to stand up culturally for the gospel that do not pervert the gospel. And you should. If you're a Christian, you should stand up. You should make your voice heard. Because what we're seeing in the world today is we're seeing a tiny, tiny minority of evil people make their voice so loud because they are walking in unanimity towards a goal. They are loud and they are vocal. And you're watching corporations and companies bow to them. If Christians will do this, even at a more mild manner, that say, you know what, I don't agree. And you end up with 150, 200 million people saying, I don't agree, just quietly. That is deafening. But Christians have to start doing that. And so that's why I encourage, if you are a leader, you need to understand that you have got to start using your social media to this end. You're not trying to convert people. You as a leader are trying to rally the troops. Let the sheep make baby sheep. It's not the shepherd's job to make baby sheep. It's the sheep's job to make baby sheep. The shepherd's job is to lead the sheep. So get out there, lead, right? And lead without fear, without favor. Lead strong. People like strength and people like love. And if you can combine strength and love, people will follow you all day long. Use your social media. Use it to push the gospel, both the gospel as it applies to our world. You know, in America, we live in a republic, right? That means you are the leader. You are in charge. You have to vote. You have to have your voice heard. If you're not doing that, it's a dereliction of duty. So lead, make your voice heard, and do so without fear, without favor. People like strength. Follow. They will follow strength.